England over Japan, folks. 59 points to 14. No shockwaves sent around the world with this one. It's pretty much the expected margin of victory. It's nice for Steve Borthwick to get one over Eddie Jones, I'm sure. It's nice for him to finish the autumn series with a win, but 3 losses prior to this one will still loom large over them on the kind of horizon awaits the Six Nations. For Japan, it's a pretty similar to the losses against the All Blacks and France recently. And I know he's rebuilding, but the defensive tackle rate against the big teams continues to be at a pretty awful level, like well below anywhere close to what we would expect from a test match side. Built on forward power, I think you would have to say. We'll go through some of the key events, and apologies for the delay in this review, but as I mentioned in a couple of other videos, we've had some bugs going around the house, including my daughter who's home from school today. She probably could have gone, but why risk it? Go one more day, get her 100% right. So she rested up, and I watched some rugby. 4 dominance from England. I mean, you're looking at the try scorers. Ben Earl gets the first one for England. I mean, that one's kind of set up from a nice break from Ollie Lawrence, but then Underhill from close range, Jamie George from mauls, Luke Cowan-Dickey from close range. The forwards are absolutely powering over for a bunch of tries, although they did kind of show, the glimpses of the attacking prowess with Marcus Smith orchestrating both like the territorial game, which is what they really drove in the first half. They had Japan camped down in their own half for large periods and just linking up with other guys in the back line, like Slightholme was able to grub her and regather for his try. Roebuck was able to get one. He went close with one earlier on, and then he come on and got a second one from a nice cross kick from Slade. So yeah, they were able to really pull the strings in the back line and score some pretty magic ones. I mean, Furbank's one was the behind the back one from Freeman. Some thing of beauty stuff tries from England. Japan did get one in each half. They got one from Saito and they got one from Himeno. Those are kind of 2 of their bigger name players. But they had a lot of missed opportunities. They had like Wanga, the big lock at one point, running ball, one-handed, just drops it cold. They had a 5-meter line out on England's line, just overthrown. So yeah, a lot of errors, and England's scrum largely. I mean, Japan got 1 scrum penalty in this game, which they kind of celebrated like they'd won the game because they had been under the pump the entire first half. They replaced the front rowers, many of them, a couple of them at half time, but the scrum was absolutely under the pump for much of the game. A very encouraging one for England. So I don't know how much you can say about this one. If we go to the stats, territory position edged England's way. Run meters is only 385, 371, so kind of pretty tight in the scheme of things. But tackling percentage, 84% England. Like, that's fine. You're not going to, again, send any shockwaves when a tackle percentage like that. But Japan's 70%. It's just awful. It's just bad. Like, I was giving Australia grief for their game against Scotland for 79, which is genuinely pretty low. But 70%, 3 out of 10 tackles, you're missing. You can't be doing that. I mean, Roebuck gave Naikabula a big fend on one of them, but this is across the board. So, yeah, not encouraging. Clean breaks, though, was one that I highlighted in the preview for this game as well. It's one that England concedes a lot of. Like, you would usually think in a scoreline 59-14, if you can look at the stats, the clean breaks will be 9-2. But it's 6-6. So England's defensive line still gets pierced, I think, a few too many times for their liking. Like, there was one Riley dummy where he got himself into some space. I think he did it a couple of times. Like, yeah, a little bit too easy to find big gaps in the English defensive line. That kind of remains a bit of a question mark. But yeah, England will obviously have some tougher games ahead of them in the Six Nations coming ahead, and Eddie Jones has clearly still got a fair bit of work to do with these boys before they get to another World Cup. But yeah, 59-14. Some nice tries from England. I don't want to be a negative Nelly. Roebuck's one, Slightholme's one, Furbank's one. Like, some really, really slick skills from the backs. and a whole bunch of power for the forwards. So it's still encouraging. It's a good way to finish off. But as I mentioned, no eyebrows raised. It's pretty much par for the course. So yeah, we'll see how things go. Underhill did get injured, sadly, after his try. Hopefully nothing too serious for him. And yeah, good to see Finn Smith actually get some minutes. He looked sharp when he came on. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts. That's the penultimate game of the Autumn Nations series done. There's one left. Ireland up against Australia next week, which should be an interesting one. Something of a quieter weekend because it's been a pretty hectic one. But you guys let us know your thoughts on the game. If you want England Rugby gear, remember England Rugby Store is an affiliate of this channel down in the description. I got this jacket from them. I like the colour because I don't have to worry about it getting dirty. Unlike white gear, the only thing I don't like about it is the zips on the... It's a right-hand zip. Usually in New Zealand we do left-hand zips. Right hand holds, left hand up. I don't know what you guys do. This is a right-handed zipper. It's a bit awkward. But anyway, are you guys right-handed zippers or left-handed? Big question for today. Take care, guys, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.